feel like God done for real blessed me, for real.
That's true.
Like, he done took his time on me, like really blessed me, like gave me all the gifts that I can even imagine.
Right.
So I'm like, if I don't do my part, like to the fullest that I can do it, I'm talking about work hard,
right?
Like give it everything I got. I feel like I'm cheating him. I feel like I'm letting him down, like I'm cheating him. If I don't develop all the gifts he done given me into like elite skills and be one of the best, I'm cheating.
You have to eat the dream. You have to sleep the dream. You have to dream the dream. You gotta touch, you have to see it when nobody else sees it.
Yeah. Any weapon formed against us shall not prosper. Y'all thought it was oozing noodles, now we eating lobster. As I walk through the valley with my ladder and flex, I'm the realest nigga, I just happened to rap. When they all thought we was finished, they was laughing at that. So I went and bought me a dawn and flipped the hat to the back. New drag, new whips on the way now. That's your on the way now. Mama told me if you fall, never stay down. Stand up, never lay down. Wins and them losses, he come with being bosses. Shoot a 10 if he crosses. Take that trial at the Fed, making offers. 500,000, Louis said we looking awesome. Swat that patty for them cups, take them off us. Look, call me Lil Fish. Try to turn my lights out, I'm still lit. Streets calling and they say they want some real. Young boy looking like he hit a real lick. I got too many foreigns, man, it's getting boring. $500,000 last week, you would've thought I was torn. Try to count me out, I guess they thought I was normal. They ain't know I was different. I like Lil be my witness, cause we're not them dishes in my grandmama kitchen. Get a pigeon, do the vision, break it down on my their opinions. Why would I listen? They ain't see the vision when I had a foreign image. You know I ain't see them, though I'm a ball on them. Met the city, let it fall on them. And now my they down with me. No, I be there if they call on me. Yeah, my bad familiar, he made it home in a week. Even my mama know how I'm rocking, I go on them streets. Keep it on me, we rollin' 32 deep. Bulletproof, everything, just let me know if it's beat. We bring the wall, I just wanna shine like my
So watch the Blue Bears retreat in the zone here and try to make Dalen go through his reads here. Throws it back shoulder.
What a catch! R.J. Mobley reaches up one hand, claws the football down into his chest.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back to Q's Hot Takes Homecoming Edition, and I got my guy Ruff from Time Out Sports joining me on the show today. Ruff, how you doing, man?
Keith, I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. It's homecoming. So, Ruff, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and get into it, and let's preview our homecoming game against St. Aug. So, Ruff, how do you think our Rams will do Saturday against the winless St. Aug Falcons?
Man, it's tough. You know, we have been struggling the previous 2 weeks to close out games. Then this past week, we were able to consistently play well, pretty much from start to finish, get a much-needed win. And I think if we can take some of the things we did from that game to the next game, limit the penalties, establish the run, and take care of the football, I think we'll have a chance to win this game. You know, homecoming is always special for everybody to get to come back and, 10 years, 5 years, 20, 30, 40, even 50 years, people that graduated a long, long time ago get to all come back if they're alive, of course, and, just celebrate the times that they had at the school and the current times. So it's one of those things where I hope the team is not too amped, because with homecoming, I would assume there's a lot of emotion. You really wanting to get a win. And in sports, in life in general, we know that if you're too amped, it can throw you off of your game. So I just hope they're able to be, settled, happy to be out there, but not let it get to them and throw them off of their game.
Yes, sir. But like you said, I definitely hope we can keep that momentum going from last week, because that's the best game we played all year. We started off slow. I guess the weather had a lot to do with that, because it was raining pretty hard. And I think that's the first time we played in like rain or anything besides sunny or cloudy weather. So I feel like that was an adjustment for us. But once we got rolling on offense, we really put it on St. Aug. I mean, on Shaw, and we didn't let up. And that's what I was glad about. I was kind of nervous about us, letting them back in the game because of how we dropped the previous couple games, letting teams back in it when we were up. So I was glad of the way we looked. Gabe Lennon, he was running that ball hard, had over 200 all-purpose yards. Dalen Lee, I feel like he had one of his better games of his freshman career. And then on defense, they really got a lot of pressure on the quarterback, harassing the quarterback, led by Kamar Cowell. I don't know if they was talking to him before the game or what, but he was fired up and he was in that backfield all day long. And we just really put it together as a whole team performance. So I'm really hoping we can continue that Saturday. It's the last home game. It's going to be senior day, so hopefully we can send our seniors out the right way. And St. Aug, they can be a little pesky because I know Fayetteville State, the defending CIAA champs, they only beat them 7-0. And then this past Saturday, I know that Johnson Smith was only able to put 14 points on their defense, and they won 14-6. So hopefully we can come out and jump on them early, and hopefully by halftime, they can go to the tailgates and have a good time with their Ramily. Hopefully this is not a game going into the fourth quarter, because when a team that's winless, you don't want them to stick around too long, because the longer they stick around, the more confidence they have that they can pull this off. So hopefully we jump on them early and just really get this game out of the way, and not let them hang around too long. So I definitely expect us to handle business Saturday because we need to win out if we want any shot at the CIAA championship. So we can't afford to lose any more games.
Absolutely. Like you said, man, got to go ahead and punch them in the mouth, make them lay down. Don't let it be, a game going into the fourth, because that's where they have confidence that they can pull it off. And that's not what we want. So it's gonna be a good weekend, a good week, and going into the weekend for all of the Rams to get to come back together. I'm excited about it.
Yes, sir. So NFL games. We'll start with our Thursday night game. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the New Orleans Saints. This should be a pretty good game, Ruff. How do you see this one playing out?
Jaguars and Saints. I think that Trevor Lawrence's health is a question right now. They're saying that he is going to try to play. But what does that mean? If he does play, is he compromised? I think that's important because the Saints do have a good defense. They have guys like Cameron Jordan that can get to the quarterback. So, I'm interested in seeing what his status is going to look like in that game. But I'm hoping just for a good quality game, man. These primetime games, these Thursday night football games have just been awful this year. I mean, even last night with your Cowboys and Chargers, we were thinking that was going to be a good game, and overall, it really wasn't to me anyway.
Sloppy. It was sloppy.
So I'm just hoping for some quality primetime games at some point. I mean, what are we doing? But I think Jacksonville is the better team in my opinion. They should be able to get a win. But again, like I said, it kind of comes down to Trevor Lawrence's health for me, because if he's not healthy, he's out there, he can't really move around. That will neutralize their offense. And I'm expecting Travis Etienne to have a big workload in this game. So how effective will he be able to be on the ground and in the passing game? That's what it's going to come down to for me. But right here as we stand, not really knowing what the status of Trevor Lawrence is, I am going to go with the Jaguars by maybe 3.
Okay. Like you said, I just hope we have a good quality primetime game because we've had some really sloppy, ugly primetime games lately. You mentioned the Cowboys Chargers last night. That was a flag fest. It felt like the refs wanted to make it about themselves last night. But I got to go with the Saints in this one. They're at home, playing in the Superdome in New Orleans. That's a very tough place to go into. And like you said, we don't know the health of Trevor Lawrence sitting here on this Tuesday evening. So that kind of makes me kind of hesitant to pick Jacksonville. And I just think the Saints at home, that defense, I feel like they're going to be flying around. I feel like Derek Carr and that offense, they'll be able to do enough to squeak out a close victory in the end. So I got the Saints at home. All right. Next, we got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Chicago Bears. It doesn't look like neither team's quarterback is going to play in this game, unfortunately. So a lot of people probably won't be looking at this game. But I got to go with the Raiders because I feel like they have the better backup quarterback. It looks like, based off NFL fantasy, they think Brian Hoyer is going to start for the Raiders Sunday if Jimmy G is not able to play. They say they got good reports from his hospital visit. He hurt his back, but uh, even the case, uh, Justin Fields is doubtful. He hurt his thumb, and I just don't think the Bears have any chance of winning without him on the field. So I got to go with the Raiders on the road, and the Bears have lost so many home games in a row, and without Justin Fields, I think that'll continue.
Yeah, Keith, I'm in agreement. I think that this will be a game that I know this is a game I won't be watching. But I think that, like you said, about the backups, I think that the Raiders have a better overall roster.
Yes,
so I think they'll be able to pull it out. One thing that's concerning is Devontae Adams' health. You know, he has not looked like himself for the last few weeks. His usage is low. And so that's very concerning if you're a Raiders fan for their long-term success. But in this game, I think they'll be able to pull it out, maybe 3 to 4 point win.
All right. Next, we got the Cleveland Browns at the Indianapolis Colts. Ruff, do you think the Browns will be able to pull it off again and pull off another upset, or how do you see this one going against the Colts? How do you see this matchup playing out?
That's tough, because this is a team that's going to be without their quarterback, who is not a terrible quarterback. I mean, last week he didn't play well. He had 3 turnovers, I believe, and only 1 touchdown. So he's got to take better care of the football. For the Browns, Deshaun Watson may be out as well. So it looked like my backup quarterback's going at it again. For me, this game can go either way, but I'm going to lean with the Browns just because of how good their defense has been. Their defense looks like one of the best defenses in the league, and so I think Myles Garrett and some of those guys will be to kind of turn the tide.
Yeah, I think the Browns. I think their defense is gonna get out to Gardner Minshew and make him very uncomfortable. I wouldn't be surprised if the Colts lean on Zach Moss as much as they can because you don't want Gardner Minshew dropping back the pass against Myles Garrett and Smith on the other side. So I got the Browns just because of their defense. They really get out to people. Jim Schwartz has really turned around that defense, and it's just amazing to see how they really get out to people. And it was really impressive to see how they put their team on their back last week and upset the 49ers. I know the 49ers had a couple guys go out, but once they went out, you could tell that the Browns, they just really could single in on Ayuk and Kittle because that's really the only people they had to worry about. So, but so far this season, that Browns defense has really been impressive. The last couple years, they've been, pretty awful. But this year, they really kind of turned things around. So I got to go with the Browns just because of their defense and their offense, regardless of who the quarterback is. Amari Cooper, Ford, they got enough weapons to, put up enough points to get out a close win on the road. So I got the Browns winning as well. Next, we got the Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots. Ruff, do you think the Patriots have any chance of pulling off the upset with how Buffalo has looked the last couple of weeks, or is Buffalo going to kind of get back on track this week in New England?
Yeah, Buffalo should look at this as a game for them to kind of been sharp, like you said, overall this season. I have not been impressed with Buffalo. But I think that New England's just not a good team at all. You have playing the quarterback position at a very poor level. They have no good running backs. Ezekiel Elliott looks a little bit better than he did last year for your Cowboys, but he doesn't look great. Ramondre Stevenson looks terrible. You got guys like Devontae Parker who is dropping. The Patriots just aren't good, and so the Bills should take care of business. They really should. I expect Stephon Diggs to have another big game, and even James Cook to be able to do some things on the ground. This game, about 17 points.
Next, we got the Washington Commanders at the New York Giants. Ruff, I have to say, I think that the way the Commanders can get after the quarterback, I think that's going to be very bad news for whoever plays quarterback for the Giants, whether it's Tyrod Taylor or Daniel Jones. And I think Washington, they're playing some pretty decent football right now. They went on the road to Atlanta and got a big-time road victory last week. to kind of end their skid that they were on. So I think I got to take Washington on the road here. The Giants, they're just not playing some good football at all right now. And I just think Washington will do enough to get a close divisional win on the road. How about you?
Yeah, I was very disappointed in Washington on last Thursday against Chicago.
Yes.
Just a very underwhelming performance. They didn't come to play. Looked a little bit better this weekend, like you said, in Atlanta. Pulling out a win. I thought they could have won by more, so I wasn't overly impressed by that game. But when you look at the Giants and the Commanders this week, the Washington Commanders need to win this football game if you want to have a chance this season. Because, like you said, the Giants just aren't a good team. They have a backup quarterback in who's not bad, but you still should be able to get to him, pressure him, and make some things happen. So the Commanders need to go in there and take care of business, and I'm going to predict it that they will. I think Terry McLaurin continues to do what he did last week. And Sam Howell should have better numbers because last game he didn't really have to do much in passing, especially in the second half, based off the game script. So I'm looking forward to seeing, the offense be a little bit more potent and the defense need to make some plays. Like you said, pressure Tyrod Taylor, get some sacks, maybe cause a fumble and an interception, and get out there and take care of business, man, because you should absolutely beat the Giants this weekend.
Yes, sir. And I know Daniel Jones said he is trying to be ready to play this Sunday. But regardless, behind that offensive line, like you said, Washington they should handle business. Next, we got the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Bucs. Ruff, can the Bucs kind of bounce back? They've kind of hit a little snag here late. Can they turn it around at home against Atlanta, or do you have Atlanta getting the road victory?
That's a tough one. I don't think neither one of those teams are quality. Neither one has a good quarterback. Baker's obviously better than Ritter in my estimation, but he's not good, and Ritter is terrible. That's tough. I think Mike Evans may not have been 100% last week coming off an injury. I think maybe he's a little bit closer to 100% this week. I think he's able to have more impact, and so I am going to predict the Buccaneers to get a close win against Atlanta. I think they're able to force some turnovers from Ritter. And I would actually force Ritter to beat me because the Falcons running game, if you can neutralize by John Rock and Tyler Algier, then you will have a great chance of winning. So I'm looking forward to seeing the Buccaneers do that, kind of neutralize the running game of the Falcons and force Desmond Ritter to make plays, and which I don't believe he will be able to.
Yes, it's tough because the Falcons they've been playing some pretty okay football late. Desmond Ritter, he's finally got a connection with Drake London. I don't know what took so long. I mean, you got a receiver that tall. You just got to find a way to, get the ball downfield to him. I don't know what took so long, but they found a connection of late. But I just think the Bucs at home, I think they're gonna want to kind of get things turned around because been playing some bad football of late. They've dropped some home games with some of the best NFC teams. So I think they'll want to bounce back and get a close divisional win at home. Like you said, I think they should load the box and make Desmond Ritter prove he can beat you. And if he does, you just go to midfield and shake his hand. But I don't think he can beat the Bucs with his arm. I think he needs the balance of Bijan Robinson and Algier, like you said. So I think the Bucs will win at home for sure. Next, we got a very good 1 o'clock game here. We got the Detroit Lions at the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore, they're just too up and down for me. They're very they've been playing some ugly football of late. And the way Detroit has been rolling, they've won their last 4 games on this winning streak by 14 plus points. I don't think they'll beat Baltimore like this, but I think they definitely will go into Baltimore and make a statement against Lamar and the Ravens. And the Lions, I can't believe I'm saying this, but they're back. They haven't been good for a long, long time since Jim Caldwell was their coach, but they're back and they really turned things around under Dan Campbell. They're very physical on defense and on offense. They're very creative with their looks, and you never know what they're going to run. So I think if the Lions go on the road and get a close, ugly, hard-fought game on the road at Baltimore, how about you?
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think the Detroit team, I was talking to somebody on Twitter, I think it was last night, and they were saying that they were surprised at Detroit being good. And I said, when we look at it, they were good last year. their offense was good last year, especially their defense was their weakness, and that's the only reason why their record wasn't even better. But the Detroit Lions have a good team. Their defense is improved. And so I think they're going to be able to do some things to kind of neutralize them more in that offense. And I think that their offense will be able to continue to stay potent. From Jared Goff to Jameer Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, we know it's a very good player. So I think Detroit goes in there, man, and they take care of business and keep that winning streak going.
All right. Next, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Los Angeles Rams. I think the Rams. I think they'll get a close victory at home. I just can trust their offense and their team more than I can trust the Steelers. The Steelers they got to rely on their defense to kind of make the game ugly and kind of keep it low scoring because their offense really hasn't figured things out with Kenny Pickett. I think Aaron Donald's going to cause their offensive line a lot of problems, and I think the Rams will get a victory at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. How about you, Ruff?
I'm in the ground with the Rams to win the game. I think that their offense has been good. Matthew Stafford has proven that he's still a good quarterback, especially when he doesn't turn over the football. You have a guy like Cooper Kupp, who is now back in the lineup, has played 2 games and has played very well. Puka, we know is good. I mean, he started off the season amazing. So you have 2 guys that can go out there and put up numbers, can go out there and keep the chain moving. And that's what I'm expecting them to do against the Steelers. I think that it'd just be too much in the end. Like you said, Aaron Donald on the defensive side of the ball should be able to cause some havoc for Pickett. And I think the Rams take care of business, man. I really do.
Yes, sir. Next, we got the Arizona Cardinals at the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle at home, they're the better team. I think they should handle business at home. I don't have to spend too much time on this one. The Cardinals, just without Kyler Murray and they're just them not being a good team overall, I just don't see them going on the road in Seattle, which is a very tough place to go in and win. A lot will have to go right for them to pull off this upset, but I just don't see that happening. And I got Seattle winning at home. Geno should move the ball up and down the field on this offense, on this defense, on this Cardinals defense. DK, I'm expecting him to have a big day. I don't think the Cardinals have anybody that can deal with him. So give me the Seattle Seahawks at home. I think they should handle business, and I don't think it's going to be close either.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Joshua Dobbs has come back to reality. If you look at the Cardinals, they started off the season pretty well. I mean, they weren't necessarily winning, but they were very competitive. But he's over the last, he's looked like the person that I expected him to be. Who is not, a very good quarterback. He just isn't. And so I agree with you. I think Seattle should go out there and be able to dominate on both sides of the ball. Geno, DK, and Tyler should be able to do some things. Kenneth Walker running the rock. And then their defense, they should be able to cause a lot of issues for Joshua Dobbs, force some turnovers, and maybe even come up with some short fields. So, yeah, I think Seattle takes care of business, man.
Next, we got the Green Bay Packers at the Denver Broncos. Ruff, how do you see this one playing out? Do you think Denver can get things turned around against Green Bay at home, or will Green Bay get a win off their bye? How do you see this one playing out?
That's tough. Those are 2 low quality teams. Neither very good. I'm gonna go with Denver. I think if you can't beat the Packers, just blow it all way up. Blow it all way up. But it's tough. I mean, that game could go either way. It really could. Jerry Jeudy, I have not been impressed. We go back to last week. He's trash talking. Steve Smith Sr., who is a future Hall of Famer, one of the greatest receivers ever. And he goes out there and puts up a dud. And that's what we say about Jeudy. He has all of the skills and all of the tools to be a very good receiver, but I don't know. Something just isn't there when you talk about the intangibles, I guess, because his production is just not where it needs to be. But I'm going to go with Denver in a close game against Green Bay. That would be another game that I would not want to watch, not even a second of it. And that's where I'm at.
I just can't put no trust in Denver right now. They look really bad. I know Jordan Love hasn't played good the last couple games. He's had a turnover fest, throwing a lot of picks. But I think if Green Bay can't go into Denver and win against Denver, who hasn't looked good at all, this is going to be a long season for them. If we look at Denver's schedule, they got the Packers this week, and then they got to play Kansas City. So it's going to get ugly for the Broncos. I just can't pick the Broncos because I can't trust them right now. So I got to go with Jordan Love. I expect him to kind of get things figured out. Hopefully, they had a bye week, so hopefully they can get Aaron Jones back and kind of lean on that run game to take some pressure off their quarterback who hasn't had a lot of reps starting. So I think that run game will be his best friend. And hopefully he makes some better reads this week against a Denver secondary who has been pretty bad this year and defense overall. So I expect the Packers to go on the road and get a win because, like I said, this if they lose to the Broncos on the road, I think this could be crippling to their season. So I got the Packers. Next, we got the Los Angeles Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs. I just can't trust Brandon Staley because I think this is going to be a close game, and I can't trust him in a close game because I know he's going to do something stupid. And I don't think he's going to be the Chargers coach much longer because you got a quarterback like Justin Herbert, and you look at his record and you're just puzzled. You're like, ow. When you got this much talent and your record is 500 basically. Uh, so I got to go with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. I think they find a way to handle business at home. They just don't lose division games often. And Travis Kelsey is usually on another level. Him and Patrick Mahomes during division games, and the way that defense is playing, I think it's going to be a long day for Justin Herbert. They're going to have to find somebody to deal with Keenan Allen, who's playing some good ball this year. He's a matchup nightmare with how shifty he is with his feet and the way he runs routes. So they got to find somebody to deal with him. But I think the best way to do that is get pressure on Justin Herbert and make him uncomfortable and kind of have to speed up and throw the ball before he wants to. But I got the Chiefs at home. I just can't trust the Chargers right now. They just don't make a lot of smart decisions to win football games, honestly.
I'm going with the Chiefs as well. I think that they'll be able to get back on track. Because they haven't been that impressive offensively for me. But I'm not even really surprised because when you look at it, it's a lot of pressure on Mahomes and Kelsey. Their core is just not that good. I mean, their skill position players is very average, to below average. So, but I think that Kelsey will be a little bit healthier potentially this week. I think he'll be able to have a little bit more impact downfield because a lot of his stuff this season has been very short. I mean, he's getting 5-yard catches. I think he'll be able to be a little bit more explosive going forward this season. And like you said, you just can't trust the Chargers, man. Brandon Staley is terrible. Fine game after game, he finds a way to lose. Last night against your Cowboys, they had an opportunity in the first half to get to 3. And that's 3 that would have made a difference at the end of that game last night because when y'all was able to just go up, just waste clock and win it, if they had that 3, it's a whole different ball game. So I think that Brandon Staley, it definitely should be his last year. I would have fired him after last year. And Justin Herbert, though, you got to call him out too. He missed a lot of easy throws last night, at least 3 to 4. I mean, Keenan Allen was wide open. I think that was early 4th or late 3rd. And that was a huge play because, it would have been a big game, and he just missed it. So Justin Herbert has to take responsibility too. He has to be better. But I'm going with the Chiefs, man. I can't trust the Chargers. I just can't.
Yeah, speaking of that, like Justin Herbert, he was forcing stuff to Keenan Allen, and he had a guy like running across the middle, wide open. I'm like, what are you looking at? Or you have a guy wide open in the flat, and he just wasn't, making good reads last night. So, like you said, I just can't trust this team right now. Justin Herbert needs to play better. They need to get a run game because I think that put a lot of pressure on them too last night because every time they tried to run the ball, it wouldn't go too well. I think they just need to be better overall. And can their defense get any type of pressure on Mahomes? And can Rice, Sky Moore, can they help out and not put so much pressure on Travis Kelsey where he has to do so much work? But Travis Kelsey, he usually goes crazy in these divisional games because there's not many people in this division that can deal with him. I'm pretty sure the Chargers, they'll try to put Derwin James on him, but I don't know if Travis Kelsey is close to 100%. I don't know if Derwin James will be able to deal with Travis Kelsey. I'm just being honest. So I expect him to have a big day, and hopefully We don't have to hear about Taylor Swift the whole game. I'm just being honest. Hopefully, we don't have to hear about that. Next, our game of the week. This is going to be a good one, Ruff. We got the Miami Dolphins at the Philadelphia Eagles. Ruff, how do you see this heavyweight matchup playing out?
Yeah, I'm intrigued by this one, man. I really am. I think it's going to be, like you said, it's going to be of the strengths and game plans. You know, who can prevail. Because we know that Miami is upbeat. They're fast paced. They're trying to score. I mean, they have, you know, they're just explosive. And we know that Philly plays a different brand of football. They're more slower. They're more methodical, running the ball a lot. They pass when they have to, but it's not their first option. So it's going to be a test of who can, you know, win that tug of war. And but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good game. I'm going for the Dolphins, and I believe that the Dolphins will find a way to win. I just think that Tua and Tyreek will be able to continue their hot streak. You know, Tyreek has been a man on the mission. I think he's at like 800 and something yards in 6 games. So he's well on his way to 2,000 yards, which he wants if he can stay healthy. Yeah, I think that Miami's, you know, they have a chance to really come out of the AFC this year. They really do. They have a talented roster. And so I'm picking them to win this game against the Eagles in a close, semi-high scoring game, maybe something like 31-27.
Okay, yeah, I can see something like that. I'm going the opposite way. Philly, they're coming off an embarrassing loss. They lost to Zach Wilson. So they're not going to be in a good mood. And similar to Buffalo, who gave the Dolphins their only loss, the Eagles can get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. They're very deep on the defensive line. I think their defensive line, because I think this is going to be a close game. I think late, I think they're going to really turn the heat up on Tua, put a lot of pressure on him. I don't really know who on the Eagles is going to deal with Tyreek Hill. That is concerning. So I don't know if you put Slay on him because I don't know if Slay can deal with that speed. And that speed is a different animal. But I think the Eagles, their best shot of neutralizing this Dolphins high-powered offense, you got to get some heat onto it. You got to make them uncomfortable, just like Buffalo did. And on offense, just Jalen Hurts has to play better, make better reads. Their game against the Jets. That was the first time in a long time I've seen somebody really take it to their offensive line like that. Really make him uncomfortable, put pressure on Jalen Hurts. So I'm expecting him to want to bounce back and show why he got that big contract. The Dolphins, I have no idea who in their secondary is going to deal with A.J. Brown. He has 4 straight games over 100 yards. I think he's going to have another big day because I don't think they have anybody in their secondary who can deal with him one-on-one. Then you got Devontae Smith on the other side. One thing I think that the Eagles have going for them is uh, they can win so many ways, and they really don't have no weaknesses, you know, besides the fact that they haven't looked great on offense this year. You know, with a new offensive coordinator, I think that's what's really why they've been so lackadaisical on offense, and they really haven't showed the offense that we saw from last year. But I'm expecting them to lean on their run game, and AJ Brown, I think he's going to have a monster day, like I said, and I think the Eagles will bounce back at home after that embarrassing loss to the Jets last week. I mean, the Jets have a good defense, but you can't lose to Zach Wilson. I mean, it's plain and simple. You can't lose to Zach Wilson. So I expect them to bounce back at home. Like you said, I could see this being high scoring because the Dolphins, they have a high powered offense, and the Eagles, when they're clicking, they have a high powered offense. So I think this could be a shootout, and I think this will be one of our best games that we've had this year. So I'm looking forward to this game Sunday night. And like you said, I just hope we get a good close game and no blowouts. No blowouts, hopefully. Um, so our last game to talk about is our Monday night game, which is the San Francisco 49ers at the Minnesota Vikings. I got to go with the 49ers. I think they're another team who's going to have a bad taste in their mouth after losing to P.J. Walker last week. Their kicker missed it at the end, so I know they're going to want to bounce back on the road. I think this could be kind of an ugly, low-scoring game, honestly, because the Vikings, they can get pressure on your quarterback at times. They can turn the heat up on your quarterback. Hunter can really get after the quarterback. But I think the 49ers, they're going to want to bounce back on the road and show people that was just an off week. They kind of were playing in some bad weather. They had some guys go down. So I think they're going to want to show people that was just one game, and they're still one of the best teams in the NFL. And I expect that defense. I think they really get out to Kirk Cousins because the Vikings don't really have a good offensive line. And without Justin Jefferson, I just uh, don't know if I trust the Vikings to, do a lot against this 49ers defense, just because I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on Kirk Cousins. But Osborne, Addison, they're going to have to step up in the absence of Justin Jefferson. So, but I got the 49ers win on the road. Ruff, how about you?
As well, like you said last week, was a point game for them. In every facet of the bad, the defense was not up to par. How it has been all year. So I think they bounced able to help Kirk Cousins, force him to make some mistakes. And like you said, when you take a guy like Justin Jefferson off the field, that's a major weapon. That's one of the best receivers in the game. And so you have to make up for that production as a committee, and it's tough. I think that it kind of is dependent on injuries as well. They're saying that Trent Williams, Deebo Samuel, and Christian McCaffrey could be available. So I guess we'll have to see. I think that Trent is very important, and I think you need one of those two weapons for sure. If I had to say who can you make it without, I would say Deebo.
Yeah, Deebo. Yeah.
I would say because Christian McCaffrey can give you give you stuff out of the backfield. He can give you 100 yards on the ground, and he can provide you with 50 to 60 on a receiver. But Trent Williams, you need him on the field as well because Brock Purdy is no supreme athlete, and so you need Trent Williams out there blocking, helping to keep him upright. So I think that San Francisco will be able to bounce back and, like you said, let people know that was kind of a fluke game and they're going to be all right.
Yes, sir. So, Ruff, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, man. And I want to say to all my family, hope y'all have a safe, happy homecoming. Ruff, you want to tell people where they can follow you and tap in with you and get connected with you, brother? You want to share all that?
Yeah, so I appreciate you, having me on again. It's always good. I can be found on Twitter at Timeout Sports 3. That's my podcast / media company, if you want to call it. Where we can be found. We ask, we're on polls, we do trivia, we do all kind of stuff on there. So just follow me there and engage. My personal page is The Rough Way, with an underscore. It's on Twitter. Timeout Sports Instagram is Timeout Sports with 2 underscores. And that's pretty much where you can find me. Also, but we have one more game we have game 4 tomorrow. But if you love the ladies, you support the ladies, and you want to see their fits, I post a lot of their pregame fits and even some off-season looks. So follow us on Twitter at fits_WNBA and Instagram at WNBA League Fits. And like Keith said, I hope all the Rams have a great week and weekend. And just make sure to leave the drama at home. Don't come out there with no BS. We want everybody to have good, clean fun and, be able to return home to their families.
Yes, sir. I see it's a chance of rain Friday, unfortunately. But hopefully we don't have no rain Saturday so we can be out at the tailgates at the game and parade and all the other homecoming activities. And like you said, just leave the drama at home because we just want to have a good time with our family. We don't need nobody out there fighting, acting ignorant. We just want to have a good time, man, and celebrate. It's been a while since we could have a homecoming like this, with COVID, and last year got canceled because of the hurricane. So we got a couple years to make up for this weekend. So, like Ruff said, man, just leave the drama at home and come out and have a good time with your family, man. And y'all take care. Make sure y'all subscribe, share this, comment, all that, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.